Not bad. She straightened Selena's collar, tackled a lock of hair behind her ear, and once again looked at Selena. No, no, that won't work. Sit down, I'll do your hair. I'll just a Sunday service. Sit down, please. Began to comb Selena's hair slowly. Selena saw her face in the reflection of the mirror. This is not an ordinary service. Everyone will be there. La crime de la and the dregs of society. You can find out everything going on in the city there. Another circular place where there is no place for religion. You have very soft hair and a pretty face. Men like that. She kept moving her comb back and forth, staring into Celine's eyes. Although you're a servant, you're still an enviable bride. You have a gorgeous room that people like you can only dream of. Decent clothing, food on the table, and a roof over your head. We give all this to you. I don't advise you to bite the hand that feeds you. What are you trying to say? Josephine folded Selena hair, causing pain. You and Mr. Stealth looked so cute in the garden. I hope you're careful with him. Let me go. Josephine tightened her grip. There's no need for you to talk to our guest, or there'll be consequences. Selena jumped up and turned to her. Enough. If you have something to hide, just tell me because at this point I'm bottled. We don't have anything to hide, honey. How do you like your hair? She turned Selena towards the mirror. Selena took a glance and almost ran out of the room. Josephine smiled, looked in the mirror, and straightened her curls from humming a melody under her breath. Silly, she lost track of her own games. Josephine left the room, slowly unlocking the door behind her. They talked on the way to church. Selena walked into the front as if she were alone. The service had already started when they arrived. Seeing Josephine, people nodded their heads, greeting her, and some even extended their hand. She seems to be respected here. The priest bending over the book read a sermon. The citizen of Tuxpan listened to him silently. Selena couldn't concentrate on the priest's voice. Her mind was entirely elsewhere. She felt despair and hopelessness. For the first time in so many years, she felt helpless. The city kept a secret, but why should she have to solve them? How would it help her escape from this world? Selena felt 15 again. She didn't know what to do or how to cope with the difficulties. It cannot go on like this. What am I doing here? What is all this for? She looked around. Some citizens looked at the priest with awe and pity, while others had an empty gaze. Josephine was right. 4 people in rags sat next to rich ladies, ostentatiously ignoring their 4 neighbors. An old man in a torn tunic sat in the back. He rested his forehead on the bench of the row in front of him. He was sobbing. The old man whispered something, but the words drowned into the hopelessness. Inable. Surprisingly, Selena felt empathy towards him. Usually looking at the suffering of others, she wanted to turn away. But that time, she couldn't take her eyes off someone else's trouble, as if she related to his pain. The priest was silent. Everyone got up from their seats. Would you like to confess? This is stupid. You'd feel better. Maybe the Holy Father will be able to talk some sense into you. Selena glanced at the confessional. The curtain was open and an empty seat could be seen. Okay, I never tried it. Speak from your heart. Selena went inside and drew the curtain, hiding from the praying eyes. She sat motionless for a while. There was no one on the other side. Soon, footsteps were heard, and someone closed the curtain and sat down. Selena fidgeted in her chair. The partition opened with a creak, and a quiet voice said, "Speak, my child." Selena, straightening up, pressed herself against the iron bars, trying to see the person on the other side. But apart from a barely noticeable shadow, she couldn't see anything. I don't know where to start. What torments you? She sighed. I want to ask for advice. We are all sinners. I'm listening, child. I've done a lot of bad things in my life. I hurt people. I do not care about their feelings. Are you sorry about that? Yes, no. No. I know it sounds bad, but sometimes they deserve it. Selena paused them, then said, who punished you? The old woman or the tarot reader? Oh my god, I don't know. She ran her hand over her faces as if trying to erase her feelings. Both of them. There was a quiet laugh on the other side. Selena wrenched up upon recognizing it. She grabbed the bars and he said, "You! The clock is ticking and you still won't budge. You won't find me that way." She saw two burning eyes flashing behind the bars. Hmm. That's not enough, you bastard. Selena jumped out of the confession box. She furiously pushed the curtain, almost ripping it off its hinge. There was no one in the confessional. All she found was a card lying on the set. There was no picture on it, just an inscription that read, "Dare to look into my eyes, find me." Selena crumpled it as soon as she read it. "Nice to see you there. You here. Mary, the feeling is mutual. Is everything okay? You look as if you've sensed a ghost." "I'm alright. We didn't have a chance to have a proper conversation last time. Let's sit down for a cup of tea sometimes." Mary moved a little closer and conspiratorially whispered, "Without Josephine and prying eyes." Selena looked over Mary's shoulder. Josephine was talking about something with the priest and was also looking around. Selena's absent-mindedly replied, "That sounds great." "Awesome, then I see you tomorrow." The priest approached them. "Father," Mary cursed and left. Would you like to confess that? No, thank you. I've had enough. He was holding a book with unusual patterns resembling the fairy tale book Selena's grandmother used to read to her. Do you like fairy tales? The priest, really offended, replied. Do you consider the Holy Scripture a fairy tale? Oh, that was embarrassing. You look emaciated. Let me treat you to a potion. I always give it to the parishioners when they come to me in such a state. He held out a Nagugulat with brown liquid. The decoction was warm and smelled like strong tea. I stated a new sitting bitter and start. Cough. Hush, hush. The medicine always tasted better. Selena shoved the cup back into the priest's hands. Yeah, thanks, Ka. I'll step outside to get some air. Yes, of course. Selena, as if delirious, went out into the street.